This new single boiler machine is manufactured near Heidelberg, Germany. It has an updated contemporary design, plus desirable features like precise PID temperature control, a shot timer, external brew pressure adjustment, a larger brew pressure gauge, three-way solenoid valve, super quick heat up times, and more. Hey, Espresso lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love with the new Profitec GO. Coming up, I'll take you top to bottom through this machine. I'll cover basic specs, show you the process for making a milk drink, look at optional wood accessories, have test results for items like heat up times, brew temperature accuracy, milk frothing performance, and wrap up with some final thoughts. The Profitec GO is a reimagined version of sister company ECM's Casa V, a very successful premium entry-level machine. Pricing on the GO, it's about the same as the Casa V, and that's a little surprising as the GO is a PID machine and the Casa was not. The benefit of PID is more precise and consistent brew temperatures. Coming up, I'll have advice on what temperature to use based on the roast level of your coffee. The Profitec GO is a single boiler machine. Up top, a generous 2.8-liter water reservoir feeds a vibration pump. Just in front of the reservoir is the OPV for adjusting brew pressure. External brew pressure adjustment is rare on even more expensive machines and unheard of in lower-end appliance-grade products. A cup warming surface fills out the front. The boiler below heats it passively. Buttons on the front face control brewing, heat the boiler to steaming temperature, and turn the power on. The knob opens the steam valve, which feeds the ball joint mounted steam arm with a 2-hole steam tip. The group head is commercial standard size at 58 millimeters. A large gauge indicates brew pressure. Hidden behind the drip tray, an outlet for the 3-way solenoid valve to remove excess pressure and water from the coffee after an extraction, leaving you with dry, easy to knock out coffee pucks, and none of the sloppy mess you get on lesser machines without this feature. The PID display is where you set temperatures for brewing and steaming. It controls other machine functions as well and becomes a shot timer when making espresso. For a machine of this size, the drip tray is large. Now, if you've ever used a Rancilio Silvia, you'll appreciate the extra size and how the drip tray slides straight off without having to lift it out. So let me take you through making a milk drink on the GO. The GO heats up quickly. I'm using a medium roast coffee, so I set my brew temp to 200 Fahrenheit. When first heating, the PID screen displays up until the machine reaches brewing temperature. Less than 4 minutes after power on, the machine was at 198 degrees, so just about ready to go. I keep the portafilter in the group when not in use, so it warms up as well. To help warm it faster, I push the brew switch to run some hot water through the empty portafilter. After a couple more minutes of warm-up, I grind into the double shot filter basket, slightly overfilling. Now, grind size is critical when making espresso. I've already set my grind size for a good extraction by dialing it in. If you'd like to learn how to get the grind size right, there's a link up here or down in the description to my dialing in video that'll show you how. I level the coffee off even with a rim and compress it using the included tamper. I push the brew switch and let water run from the group for about 5 seconds before attaching the portafilter. This step rinses residual coffee from the group and equalizes temperatures. I attach the portafilter and press the brew switch. For a double shot, I'm looking for 2 ounces of espresso, including that bubbly crema layer, in 20 to 30 seconds from first drip. The brew pressure gauge helps confirm my grind size is right. I'm looking for about 10 bar on that gauge. If it were more than a bar or 2 lower, that's an indication my grind is too coarse, so I'd need to grind finer. But my shot is looking good, and I hit my 2 ounces or 60 milliliters in the 20 to 30 second window. When I push the brew switch to stop the shot, a solenoid valve opens to release excess pressure and water into the drip tray. Machines which have solenoid valves like the GO leave you with a relatively dry, easy to knock out coffee puck. I put the portafilter back in the group so it stays warm and ready to go for next time. Since I'll be doing a milk drink, as soon as my espresso is done, I push the steam switch to bring the boiler to a much higher temperature and create more steam for frothing milk. Before frothing, Profitec recommends purging for 5 seconds, then closing the valve and waiting 10 seconds before purging for another 5. This process removes extra water and opens headspace in the boiler for more steam. Once that's done, you can start frothing. I place the tip just below the surface of the milk and open the steam valve. I keep the tip in this position and raise it higher in the pitcher as the milk expands. Now, I've linked to a fantastic video on milk frothing technique down in the description that shows you how to do it right for cappuccinos or lattes and right on through to pouring your first latte art. So check that out if you need any help. Once my pitcher is feeling too hot to hold, I'm at about 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's the sweet spot for milk. So I close the steam valve with the tip still below the surface and turn off the steam switch. I wipe my wand down and then purge it again to push out any residual milk. Now I combine my espresso and milk for the drink of my choice. Now, I'm no latte artist, but you get the idea. Cooling down and refilling the boiler after steaming is very important. After steaming, the boiler is too hot for making espresso, so I place a cup under the group and turn on the brew switch. I let it run until there's a consistent, smooth flow of water without excess steam. Once cooled down, the machine will be ready to make another drink by the time I prep another portafilter and milk pitcher. To access PID functions, press and hold the minus and plus buttons together. Once T1 appears in the display, you can press the plus button to begin adjusting the brew temperature of the machine using the plus and minus buttons. You'll be able to precisely adjust brew temp to match the roast level of your coffee for best flavor. And the basic advice there, use the cooler end of the 195 to 205 coffee brewing range for darker roasts, and the roast gets lighter, go higher in the range. To access other functions, again, press and hold both buttons until T1 appears, then use the minus button to cycle through. After T1, you'll have steam temperature, then eco mode, followed by cleaning reminders and setting the display to Celsius or Fahrenheit. Steam temperature ranges up to an impressive 284 degrees Fahrenheit. In Eco, you can set a time in minutes for the machine to automatically turn off, ranging from 30 minutes to 10 hours, or just turn Eco mode off. CLN is for cleaning reminders. There you can set the machine to display an alert to do a back flush after a set number of brewing cycles in steps of 10, ranging from 0 off to 200. In the degree setting, you can choose Celsius or Fahrenheit for the display. If you prefer the display off, press the plus button to toggle it off and on. The GO is a PID machine, so it provides accurate brew temps. To test, I used a SCASE device as prescribed by the Specialty Coffee Association and measured at settings of 195, 200, and 205. I did a 5-second flush prior to each test and noted the most common temperature seen during a simulated extraction. In all 3 tests, temperatures averaged out to within a degree or so of the setting and were very close at the midpoint of the extraction. For milk steaming times, I ran a number of tests at different steam temperature settings and wait times after pushing the steam switch. For all tests, I used Profitec's recommended procedure, pushing the steam switch and immediately doing 2 5-second purges with a 10-second pause in between those. Time to froth 5 ounces of milk to 140 degrees Fahrenheit ranged from 22 to 30 seconds. I really don't see any reason not to set the PID to the max steaming temperature of 284 Fahrenheit. My 22-second result was at that setting and waiting 20 seconds after the purges to start steaming. My slowest result of 30 seconds came with no wait time after purging and steam temperature set to the max. I got a middle-of-the-road result of 26 seconds using the 266 out-of-the-box setting for steam temperature and waiting until the machine actually reached near that temperature. For me, it made the most sense to set to max and start steaming shortly after Profitec's recommended purges. Brew pressure on the Go is externally adjustable. To set, put the blind filter basket in the portafilter, run the pump, and adjust. Now, you'll always hear 9 bar, but in most vibration pump machines, if you want 9 bar on the coffee, you adjust pressure to show 10 bar on the gauge. Using a scale which reads pressure in the portafilter during a simulated extraction, I verified that about 10 bar is what you want if using the blind basket to set pressure using the machine's gauge. My scale read 130 psi, equal to 9 bar when the brew pressure was adjusted to show about 10 bar on the machine gauge. So I always get under the hood of these machines and have a look at internal components. We already saw how brew pressure is externally adjustable, so no need to open up the Go to do that. Inside, a brass ring boiler with a nice insulation jacket. All pressure carrying pipes are in copper, brass, or braided stainless. Sensitive electronics like the PID controller and static relay are well protected, located below and away from heat and moisture sources. The vibration pump has flexible rubber mounts to help reduce noise. Overall, excellent design and construction for reliability and ease of access. In the box with a Profitec GO is a double spout portafilter, single and double shot filter baskets, blind filter basket for back flushing and setting brew pressure, a real usable tamper, group brush, and a user manual. To personalize your machine, a variety of real wood species are available to trim out the steam knob and portafilter handles. For espresso lovers, the Profitec GO has the tools like PID plus easily adjustable brew pressure to make it better. As we saw in the test, you can start steaming milk right after doing Profitec's recommended purges. Like all single boiler machines, if you do a lot of milk drinks, the extra step of cooling the boiler down after steaming, can slow you down, but it is doable. I like the updated, more contemporary look of the machine as compared to the ECM Casa V it's based on. The black with blue gauge is striking. If you act quick, a teal gauge is available as a one-time limited edition on the black machine. Beyond the black body color, the Go is available in yellow, red, or blue, and those body colors all come with a black gauge. And with available real wood accessories, you can personalize further. Profitec and sister company ECM are known for quality. Compare the finishing details of this machine to other premium level single boiler machines, and the Go's refinement is obvious. The Profitec GO is available now at Whole Latte Love. Well, I do hope that's helped you out. If you have any questions on the Profitec GO or anything coffee, use those comments and I'll get you a detailed answer. If you love coffee and espresso as much as I do, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching, and be sure to come back soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.